Greetings and salutations, my fellow gamers, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Blitzbite, and today we got, well, new Fallout Season 2 filming update. I know, it's been so long since our last update. I thought I wouldn't be getting anything else. I figured they got all the filming done for outside, everything we can do, but no. We got more stuff coming in, and it is a large amount of leaks and photos. So this is going to be a big video, I hope, and we're going to be talking about everything we find. So, just a little reminder, what we've been getting mostly so far is stuff from New Vegas. We've gotten filming from the Strip, we've got stuff about that new power armor that we discussed last time, along with the Death Claw, they had going. So, mostly stuff around New Vegas. But here we're getting some more stuff that, well, technically yes, does probably involve New Vegas, but it also involves other things besides New Vegas. And this is the last thing we really got for New Vegas, which was this just little base set all covered up and stuff at night. It's not really much, just some stuff that's been, want to make sure people can still get through and all that, but they don't want people to just, come and get an idea of what's going on, even though we have so many set photos and we know stuff's going to be in there. But some new photos came out recently, a lot of them, and we're going to start with these. These were filmed in downtown Los Angeles like the rest of Season 2 so far. Particularly, this apparently takes place, or was filmed at the Los Angeles World Trade Center. Apparently it's been abandoned for a while, but it still has a lot of those, elegant kind of designs inside, and this is where they were. So as you can see right here, we have two photos, two signs, that depict one, the Silver Rush Casino, and the other one being an advertisement for Vault-Tec with Cooper Howard. You never know. Don't wait until it's too late. Reserve your spot today. So yeah, another one of Cooper Howard's, Vault-Tec advertisements, which I kind of like. We really didn't get to see much of his advertisements besides, the Vault 4 stuff and those photos he took with a thumbs up and all that, which this looks like it came from. They did snap a lot of photos. But we didn't really see any, billboards featuring him, except for that, one during the end credits, where, it pulls back and we see that Vault Boy advertisement, but then below it you can see that it used to be a Cooper Howard advertisement before they replaced him with Vault Boy. But, of course, we got, the Silver Rush, a classic location from Fallout New Vegas, which by the time of the game has now become a weapons dealership run by the Van Graffs, who deal with energy weapons mostly. So it's kind of cool we get to see it back when it was still a casino and gambling hall. But that's not the only photos we got of signs. We also got these here. Looks like we got something for a lottery, a Nevada State Lotto, which we may recognize from Fallout New Vegas as well. But it's the one behind it that's got people talking. It is for the Lucky 38. You never know, same as the Vault-Tec one. But who's that handsome chap in the left-hand corner? Yep, that is Mr. House. Now, of course, we did see Mr. House in Season 1. He was at that big meeting with all the Vault-Tec executives and the heads of those other companies, Big MT, Repcon, Westtech, which I still feel is kind of weird. I feel like if you were going to have, a meeting with, the big companies of the Fallout universe with Vault-Tec, I think it should have been Robco, General Atomics, Westtech, Nuka-Cola, and potentially Poseidon Energy. Maybe you could have had Big MT in there. I personally wouldn't have. They're more like a separate organization, something like that, just like a group of scientists. That would have been me, but I didn't write the show. Repcon's also a part of Robco, so I'm not sure why you had Robco there twice. That'd be like having Vault-Tec and the Hawthorns in there. It's like, no, the Hawthorns are owned by Vault-Tec, But yeah, so here, rant over. We have an advertisement for Lucky 38. It is kind of cool. Of course we had advertising for Lucky 38 in Fallout New Vegas, but it's kind of cool that, with Mr. House being the owner of it, that he's using himself. He's probably a big name. He's the founder and owner of Robco, the largest technology company in the world, besides probably Vault-Tec, and definitely the biggest robot manufacturer in the world. So to kind of see him on advertisement, I guess it's sort of like seeing, like Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs on a sign for someplace. It's like be like Steve Jobs if when he was still alive on a poster for Pixar. Yeah, he technically did own that, so it'd be kind of weird to see his image on it. But I think it's really nice. We could see Mr. House. We're probably gonna see more of him this season. I don't know if it's just gonna be in flashbacks. We do know he is in this season, and we're in Vegas. So it's quite possible we may see him, post-war, maybe either in a flashback where he's alive, his ending could be canon. We'll probably definitely see him, pre-war stuff, kind of like what we saw in Season 1, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, here is where we saw more of the filming inside the actual, World Trade Center building, and it is slot machines. Now, if it doesn't mean anything, it's Vegas, of course there's slot machines. And there's slot machines all over New York, so where could this be? Well, there are a few nods to it, while what I was saying earlier, all this, like, nice artwork up here. Like, that's kind of cool. This place is abandoned. It's like, why isn't someone taking it yet? This is, like, really cool. I'd like to have that in my office building. Now, here we see departure times. Vegas. Departure times. Slot machines. You know it, people. They are filming at McCarron. Well, they're filming the setting of McCarron Airport. Or known as Camp McCarron in Fallout New Vegas, the headquarters of the NCR in the Mojave Wasteland. Now, we got a few locations here. Of course, we got Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Dallas, Miami, DC, Boston, Austin, and Detroit. And, oh my gosh, guys, Austin 5. Fallout 5 takes place in Austin. I knew it all along. They were telling us. It was all there. It was like the Commonwealth in Fallout 3. You just knew it was going to be like that. No. But it's like, DC, Fallout 3, Boston, Fallout 4, New York, Fallout sometime. They're going to do it. They were going to do it in Fallout 4. Los Angeles, Fallout 1. Yeah, it's all that. But the main thing you can get from this board is that it says TWA. TWA stands for Trans World Airlines. They were an airline like back in the early 40s and like up until like the late 2000s. And for like the 40s to the 60s, they were like the main airline for the United States. Like they were the most popular, they were the biggest. They were the airline if you wanted to travel. Now, being that they were founded like in the early 30s or 40s, yeah, potentially they could exist in the Fallout universe and still exist today. But Fallout usually doesn't have that thing of like having real world companies in the game, unless it's like, it kind of fits. Like they don't have, even though like Coca-Cola and Pepsi were founded before the Divergence in Fallout, you don't see them. You see Nuka-Cola. So yeah, you don't have anything like that. Now, what I read potentially is that these props, things with TWA on them, which we'll see more of in a minute, apparently they were rented out from Warner Brothers, and that may explain it. Like they said, hey, we need some like airline stuff that looks like vintage, like from the 50s or 60s, and they're like, yeah, sure, we got some stuff, and they just brought out all this, and that apparently it'll be fixed in post, which I guess wouldn't it just be easier to like in this case like just get a chalkboard and just like print a custom label on it, and then you can just write down all the stuff like it is here. Like, why do you have to like rent that? Some of the other stuff I get, but this just seems a little weird. Or who knows, maybe TWA does exist in the Fallout universe and they still exist before the war. Who knows? But if we continue on here, we see some more slot machines. They got a lot of vintage slot machines, which, there were a lot in Camp McCarron in Fallout New Vegas, and the actual McCarron Airport in Las Vegas. Yeah, they do have slot machines, which is, I think, kind of cool. It's like, while you're in Vegas, while you're waiting for your flight, you can gamble. That's Vegas for you. And of course, we see some more distinctions here. Lake Mead, which of course, that plane, let me guess. That plane, we're going to have to go and raise it from the bottom for the boomers. Yeah, so we are getting some, familiar locations here with like Lake Mead, advertising that helps kind of show it off. We have some advertising for the tops, pretty standard stuff. You'd expect to see that in McCarron Airport. And again, we got some more TWA stuff here, which, like I said, they'll probably fix it in post, maybe, or like I said, maybe TWA just exists. But yeah, this definitely is standing in for McCarron Airport, given everything we've seen for it. And I think it looks great, I like Camp McCarron. That was a really interesting place to go to in Vegas, especially with the quest with the Legion member hiding out there as an NCR soldier, like that whole thing. I loved it, like a spy in the camp. That was really great. So getting to see it in live action would be cool, especially like if so before the war, before the NCR moved in. That'd be great. We got some travel services here, and it looks like they got some stuff like they do have some custom stuff here, like they have Voltec executive packages, Poseidon Energy, fuel, rationing plan, I think, Atomic Tour. promotions. So that actually was technically based off a real thing. Back in the early 50s and 60s, they did perform an atomic test in Nevada, not far from Vegas, and you could actually see the mushroom clouds from the casinos in Vegas, which was, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, to be able to go to Vegas and then while you're gambling, you just look out the window and you see a mushroom cloud distance, and you know, like, that would be terrifying in every other way. But right here, right now, while I'm losing $10,000 to the blackjack table, I can see the talk. Like, see, that's a representation of me and my money. So I think it's kind of cool. I still want to go to Vegas one day and check out all the Cold War stuff they got there. So they got visits, Las Vegas, again, pretty standard stuff. And here we've got a little more on the travel services here. We got Vault-Tec evacuation packages. Reserve your spot in Vault 21 today. So yeah, so we got some stuff about local vaults, like Vault 21. It'd be interesting if they mentioned Vault 3, which is like just, down the street. That's weird. I would say it's weird they have the two vaults so close together, but then again, they have 3 interconnected vaults, so what are you gonna do? And then Poseidon Energy, fuel ration plans, atomic tour promotions, and then luxury moon vacations, offering early bookings for a future space resort. I guess this makes sense why they have TWA. TWA thought they were going to be like the masters of getting people to the moon commercially in like the 1960s, and then we actually went to the moon, and they're like, dang, that's not gonna work. Okay, we'll have to rethink this. So, keeping it moving, we have some beautiful artwork here on the wall. We got some of the Lucky 38, the Ultra Lux, and the tops here. Looking very accurate to how they do in game. A little different from how they were built, for the actual sets of New Vegas. But I guess they're trying to be accurate. Then again, maybe they'll look different when post production is done. Who knows? Which is the filming set. But it's kind of cool. We get to see more advertisements for the stuff in Cape McCarron, which we really didn't see in game, but they could do a little bit more here. But this is where things got a little bit weird. Of course, we have the Atomic Wrangler here, very very nice, and the Gamora. But if you look over here, the Vault 21 Hotel. Now this is strange because the Vault 21 Hotel is a vault, and this takes place, looks like, it was also put up before the war. But Vault 21 was an actual vault. It was a vault in Vegas that was sealed on the day that the bombs dropped, and it was lived in by people, before then, until Mr. House took it over after he took over Vegas, and he kicked everyone out, and then 2 of the residents decided they were going to turn it, what was left, into a hotel. Then it became the Vault 21 Hotel. So I'm not sure why a Vault 21 Hotel is being advertised here now, before the war, which is probably when this takes place, when Mr. House didn't take it over and have it turned into a hotel until like the 2200s. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. I have a feeling they were just kind of like, it feels weird. Like, they have all this stuff here, and makes me think, oh, they know how this is supposed to work in game. They know the history about this. And then they do stuff like this, like they have the Vault 21 Hotel before the war, and it's like, well, no, it's not supposed to be there before the war. It's frustrating. I don't know. Maybe this is just like an oversight. Maybe they'll get rid of it in post. They're like, oh shit, we weren't supposed to do that. We'll just cover it up or something. Or maybe Vault 21 was a hotel before the war. Then it served as an actual vault during the war. And then afterwards, it got turned into a hotel again, which is weird. It went from a hotel to a vault to a hotel. I don't know. But here we got some more of the, stuff they brought over from Warner Brothers, apparently. The props. We got TWA, Ward Air Canada. So yeah, well, that kind of makes sense in like the Fallout universe. They did annex Canada, so it would kind of make sense that they'd have Canadian model airplanes. For executives and all that kind of stuff. But it just kind of, I think, goes more to show that, yeah, these were just props they just got from a storage for Warner Brothers, and then they're just using them here. I mean, it all looks great. It looks like it's from the 50s, especially like these lamps, this globe, phones, all this. This definitely feels like stuff that would be like on the desk of an airline executive or something like that. So, at least they're trying to remain accurate. Like, feels like those. Those are beautiful. But I actually like these more. Ones look like actual miniature model planes. These are great. I'd like to have one of these, but I'd also like to have one of these. Just me personally. We got some more of those advertisements. We didn't see the fabulous Las Vegas sign before it was turned into the fabulous New Vegas sign, which we saw earlier in the filming. And we got a nice little, looks like a cigarette machine. I would assume. I will say either a vending machine or a cigarette machine. I can't tell. But yeah, it's definitely vintage, so it fits in with the theme. And we got some old rotary phones. Okay, so I'm not old. I am not, I swear. But when I was a kid, I remember that downtown where I live still had rotary phones, like out on the street that you could go and pay for. I distinctly remember them. I think I was probably like, what, 8 years old or something like that? But yes, they were still there. So I'm one of those guys, just because, like, you know, there's a phone there that you can just go and pay. You'll put a few quarters in, you can make a phone call. That's how you used to do it. They didn't have cell phones back then. You didn't have stuff like this where you could just, you know, make a call right then and there. I do remember that when I went to England and they had all those like old phone booths. Those are pretty cool. But yeah, so it is kind of nice that they are trying to go like full hog on these and have full 1950s aesthetic. I like it. Those are all the set photos we got for the McCarron set. Overall, we didn't get a full like real look at it. It just looks like they were either putting stuff together or tearing it down. But I think it looks nice. I'll be more interested to see what it looks like when the show finally comes out and the whole thing's put together. But hey, let's wait and see. Who knows? Maybe we'll see it when it's all destroyed and the NCR is taking it over. But we have more set photos coming out. That was just the first set that was released. Here, we actually go back out into the Wasteland, and I see a familiar snack food, Blamco Mac and Cheese delivery. This is a Blamco factory distribution center. Don't know. But below we can see graffiti, drop chems, not bombs. The hippies are back. Someone grab Cartman. The hippies have infected the Fallout set. Yeah, this definitely looks like a, definitely post-war location. All the dirt and grime everywhere, faded signs, and all that. It's good to see Blamco Mac and Cheese. Saw it mentioned a few times in season 1. Like the Ghoul said, how he always loved Blamco Mac and Cheese. So to see it, like, this just helps the world feel more, connected to the games when you see stuff like this, just like out in the like a Blamco distribution center. That's cool. And we got a nice little city bus lines, looks like it, and this looks like one of those like let's all go to the lobby advertisements. You got ice cream. Oh no, it's all ice cream. I think it's supposed to be like an ice cream van or something. I can't tell. It's like I see. That looks like an S and an M, maybe an A. Yeah, I can't tell what that says, but it's definitely old and it's next to the Blamco center. We have some destroyed houses here, pretty standard. Looks like, just normal Wasteland look for things. And we have some more graffiti over here. Ban the bomb, fight apathy, or don't. I mean, it's nice graffiti, I will say, but it just doesn't feel like very Fallout graffiti. Like, where's the graffiti like when you open the door, it's just a brick wall and it says, you suck. That's the kind of graffiti I want to see. We did see a little bit of graffiti on like the Novak buildings that we saw earlier. It was like the Great Cons and like Death Claws and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool, but this just feels like kind of, like who cares? Everyone is gone. It does make you wonder like where exactly this is. Part of me wants to believe that this is somewhere around like probably like Shady Sands, something like that. Another part of Shady Sands, because when like everyone is gone. Well, because yes, Shady Sands was destroyed, but that was kind of we've already seen the ruins of Shady Sands. There's not much left there. At least in the very center of town, everything is gone. And everything that's outside of town, we've pretty much already seen when Maximus and Lucy walked by. So I'm not quite sure this could. I know from later sets that I think I know where this is, but I'll wait off on that for a second. But yeah, so right now I think this could potentially be in Shady Sands, and we'll talk more about that in a second. This is a nice little Blamco Mac and Cheese delivery truck. Like, this is stuff we really don't see in Fallout games. Like, we saw plenty of Vault-Tec vans, plenty of Nuka-Cola vans, but not a Blamco Mac and Cheese van. I like how it gained some new stuff like this. Those are cool. Another view of the bus, and that is all the set photos we got from here. But we got plenty more. Plenty more. So next up, we have, looks like it's the same set. It's the same general area, the Blamco Mac and Cheese area and all that stuff. And as you can see, we got Vault Dwellers. And not just any Vault Dwellers based on the jumpsuit here. These are Dwellers from Vault 33. So, question becomes, what are Vault 33 Dwellers doing outside in the Wasteland? Like, shouldn't they be like in Vault 33 or Vault 32 because they transferred over there? Well, you might notice something. While these guys all have Vault 33 jumpsuits, the guy over here doesn't. He has a Vault 31 jumpsuit. Now, as we know, as we saw at the end of Season 1, Vault 31 holds the frozen executives of Bud's Buds, that whole Vault Tech planned by Bud Askins to create super managers using pre-war members of Vault Tech to populate and serve as overseer of the other vaults and then breed with them to create super managers so they can, get ready for the Wasteland. So if that guy is from Vault 31, does that mean that he's one of Bud's Buds who is like overseeing them? Was he like dragged out here? And if so, how did he get out of Vault 31? Was he unfrozen? He didn't go to one of the other vaults to get one of those jumpsuits? It's like, what exactly is the reason why? How is the Vault 31 resident here with the Vault 33 residents? In fact, it looks like this Vault Dweller right here also has a Vault 31 jumpsuit. In fact, we zoom in a little. Yeah, see that one there is definitely Vault 31, as is the one over here. So yeah, what exactly are they doing out here? Part of me wants to believe that potentially these are the Vault 33 residents who went to Vault 32. Maybe they somehow found out about what was going on. I mean, who knows? Maybe Chet finally stood up and said like, "Hey, something's wrong here." Norm was talking about this, and that got them all talking. Maybe Norm got out and he warned them all. Who knows? But this was also, I think, the only photo we got. For this general area. For now, we got some more. Yeah, like I said, hippy dippy signs and graffiti over here. But in the next set of photos we got, it came from another angle, and we got more Vault residents. And we can see this is the same set from earlier, same bus, same Blamco mac and cheese truck we got here. And now it's kind of hard to see in these photos. I don't know if I can zoom in on any of these, but we got some more just like destroyed streets with cars and all that kind of stuff. But here we got some more zoom-ins of the Vault 33 residents, and if we go to this photo here, someone pointed this out. That Vault Dweller right there, small stature compared to some of the other ones. That haircut. A lot of people are saying that this is actually Norm. That this is actually him. This character here. And if so, that raises a lot of questions like, how did he get out of Vault 31? Did someone let him out? Did he escape? Did he defeat Bud? And if so, how did he manage to catch up with all the other Vault 33 residents who were out here? It's a good question, but we don't know. We don't see his face. We can't tell if this is Norm. A lot of people say it was. Like, people who are taking the photos say that it was him when he turned around. But it's like, why did you just have a picture then of his face? I don't know. But if this is Norm, this is probably huge, because he is probably the reason why these residents are out here. He probably is the one who got out and told them what Vault 31 was doing, and so they decided to leave. But it really is going to be interesting how these Vault 33 residents, who could barely survive a raider attack, are going to handle being outside and having to scavenge for all their supplies, instead of going through a Blamco mac and cheese van. Who knows how that's going to end up. But it's definitely going to be interesting. And we got another zoom in here, just more residents. And this is where I wanted to talk about where exactly this is taking place. We saw those graffiti signs all over the place that said, everyone is gone. And now we have Vault 33 residents here. Now we know Vault 33 is located in Los Angeles, or near Santa Monica, close to Los Angeles. And we don't know where Vaults 31 and 32 are. But let's say these Vault Dwellers got out through either of those vaults, Maybe they're closer to LA, who knows. But what I'm thinking is, what if this is in fact Shady Sands? What if they're scouting through the wreckage of Shady Sands, trying to find supplies? It would make sense, why the everyone is gone graffiti is there, because, Shady Sands was bombed. And it also makes sense why the Vault 33 residents are here, because it's close to them. Now, we don't know this at all. We just know that we have Vault 33 residents, probably with Norm, out scavenging for supplies, with some Vault 31 residents. So, definitely shaping up to be like where something happened in the vaults. Probably gonna be something that happened, I'm guessing later on. Well, actually, we don't know. This is being filmed after the supposed finale of the season, so for all we know, this takes place at the beginning of the season, or it takes place in the middle. Like, we just don't know, because they always film stuff out of order. But moving on, we have some more stuff I was talking about, and this is the big one. This is the one that got me excited. You're probably excited too, this is the first time you're seeing this. It is legit, honest to goodness, yes, it is a platoon of NCR soldiers. The NCR is back, baby! Now, we don't know as of right now if this is the NCR before Shady Sands bombed or afterwards. But considering what we know about the NCR for Season 2, given the other set leaks we've seen, I'm going to go on a limb and say these guys are actually post-bombing of Shady Sands. Like, this is the actual NCR army. You know, they're still kicking, they're still taking orders, they're still maintaining order where they can after Shady Sands. This is the NCR back to their, not full strength, but they're not like, you didn't take something to the knee either, and they're like, we gotta recover from this. No, they're up and moving again. They're just still a little sore after losing their capital. Now, but again, this is just one step photo of NCR soldiers. We don't know, what's going on. Like, are they in New Vegas? If so, what are they doing in New Vegas? Are they there because their house is letting them? Did they win the second battle of Hoover Dam? And the NCR it has taken Vegas as their temporary capital while they try and retake California. We don't know. But some recent photos came out after this that got people talking. Because while it's a big thing that the NCR is here, because we know that the NCR would be here no matter what. We know they had multiple operations outside of California, so if anything happened in Vegas, they'd be fine. They could still come back. But these next photos got people talking about something else. We're talking about, no joke, it's Caesar's Legion. Caesar's Legion is in Fallout Season 2. Now, this is a pretty big deal, because no matter how you look at it, unless you go for the Legion ending in New Vegas, the Legion is pretty much screwed. Think about it. If you don't help them, Caesar's probably going to die from his tumor, which he has, and we just don't help him with it. 2, if we don't help the Legion, we're helping someone else, and the Legion is very unprepared at this state in Fallout New Vegas to win the Battle of Hoover Dam. We have to help them. And if Caesar does die and Legate Linnaeus takes over, the Legion is pretty much doomed. Everyone, including Joshua Graham, has said that the Legion can only survive with Caesar, and once he's dead, the Legion's dead, because he's the one holding it together. Legate Linnaeus does not have the power to lead like Caesar does. So, to see the Legion here could mean one of two things. One, this is a flashback to sometime before the events of New Vegas, when the Legion was still an active part in the Colorado. Heck, this could be something like even before the second Battle of Hoover Dam. Maybe even before the first Battle of Hoover Dam. Maybe it's the Legion first entering New Vegas, and or the Mojave, and checking out everything, seeing what's happening. We don't know. Or this takes place after the event of Fallout New Vegas, and these are what's left of the Legion after the second Battle of Hoover Dam. Because we don't know who won that. They're kind of pushing it to where, from what we've seen so far, that the Legion lost the second Battle of Hoover Dam, which honestly I think does make a little bit of sense. Like I said, if we don't help them, they pretty much lose in every other ending. It's sort of like the Institute ending. It's like, if you don't do the Institute ending, the Institute's gone, If you do the Minutemen, Brotherhood, Railroad ending, it's all destroyed. So, yeah, with the Legion, you pretty much destroy the Legion in every ending besides the Legion ending, so they would probably be gone by now. So to see them here either means these are remnants who survived the second Battle of Hoover Dam, and they didn't retreat with the rest of the Legion. Maybe they're a Legion scouting party sent to try and see if they, with a weakened NCR, can they try and retake Vegas in the Mojave? I say retake, even though they never held it. At best, they had the dam for like a few hours, and Boulder City for like 2 seconds before they blew it up. So yeah, we just don't know what the Legion is doing here. I'm personally under the assumption that perhaps this is either a flashback. I think this is probably going to be a flashback because they look well armed and everything. They don't look like they're, you know, struggling. Like the NCR remnants in Los Angeles in Season 1. But if this does take place after the events in New Vegas, then the only explanation could be is that either they're a scouting party or that they're just remnants of the Legion who didn't escape the Mojave after the events of Fall in New Vegas. I mean, it would make sense why they're still here. The NCR couldn't go after them after their capital was nuked. They were more focused on probably trying to survive and seeing who was still in charge. So it would be interesting to see where they go from this. Will they go for, you know, the Legion's still around and they're still pretty strong, or the Legion's pretty much gone? There's just a few factions left by a few generals and all that kind of stuff. Some people have been saying that they hope they see Lake Linnaeus. I have a feeling that if we do see Lake Linnaeus, it would probably have to he would probably pretty much confirm what happened with Vegas. He would definitely comment on that. And they're trying to make it so, like, you know, we're not going to say which ending for Vegas is canon, which they can't. They have to decide on a canon ending for Vegas. So like how they already confirmed a canon ending for Fallout 4 by saying that the Institute the Institute's gone because, like, the Brotherhood is still around, the Prudman is still around. That can only happen with the Brotherhood and Minutemen endings. So it's not the Institute ending, and it's not the Railroad ending. So it's the Minutemen or Brotherhood. And they kind of lean towards the Brotherhood, even though I think the Minutemen ending would be a lot better. But that's just me. What am I gonna say? But yeah, enough with that. Essentially, we're getting the Legion, and I'm super excited for that, to see what they do with it. And that's pretty much all the set photos we got in terms of leaks and new stuff. However, we did get this new information just recently. It would seem that they are, in fact, tearing apart the New Vegas set that we've been looking at for the past few weeks now. Which means that more than likely all the filming is done for here. They've got all the Vegas filming done, and they're just getting the other stuff left over now, and everything's being torn apart. I am a little disappointed that I didn't get a chance to actually go and check this out. I live nowhere near where this is being filmed. I don't live in Los Angeles. I don't even live in California. I live in the Midwest. So there was no chance I was going to be able to see this, but it would have been great to actually be able to walk through the set of New Vegas. New Vegas is my favorite Fallout game, so be able to see all of it in real life. But what are you gonna do? I just waited too long. I could have hopped on a plane to Los Angeles and checked it out, but actually, my mother, who watches Fallout 2 because she likes it, I got her into it. I even told her, I was like, oh, man, I really wish I could go see the set of Fallout Season 2. And she's like, why don't you do it? It's like, yeah, great. With what money? You know how much a plane ticket costs? Plus the hotel and the plane ticket back? Yeah, no. Just for one set. I mean, if you guys want to watch more of my videos, so I get more views, I can earn some money from these, and I can actually go check out the sets. That'd be great, but I'm pressuring you. I'm not pressuring you. So yeah, pretty much Vegas is done. They finished that, so that's being torn apart. You know, they should probably hold on to that stuff, you know, like, keep those doors, then put them up for auction one day. It's like, Fallout Season 2, Lucky 38 doors for auction, $2,000. I mean, they go up like that. I cannot wait until, like, when this show is pretty much done, and I can start selling off the props. I would love to own some props from this show. But yeah, that is all the information we got for Fallout Season 2 filming right now. They're still in the middle of doing more filming right now. I feel like it's just kind of like they're like wrapping up soon. You know, they're filming up the last of the scenes they need to. They got all the major stuff with Vegas done. So now it's just like, you know, yeah, fill some side street stuff. It's pretty much like the exterior of the Super Duper Mart from last season. Like, they're just gonna film that quickly, get it done, then move on. At this rate, they may be done filming by like early summer or late spring. Is when they're probably going to finish. And at that rate, we may get Season 2, like, early next year. I mean, that'd be great. I mean, I personally would love to have it this year, but I'm not holding my breath. The first season came out last year. If they could actually get Season 2 out this year, that'd be surprising. It's like, within a year, you've got Season 2 ready to go? Nah. We're probably gonna get it early next year at this rate, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with waiting. Just as long as it's good. But man, people, if you want to continue to see updates for Fallout Season 2 and have me talk about them, which I know you love, don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below. Helps out the channel, helps out me, makes me know that you guys care, and I certainly hope that you care. But I bet you do. So until next time, people, ta-ta, and goodbye for now.